Watch out!
Nintendo finally has their comfies in a bunch over the Switch 2's leak cycle. It's been radio silence from the gaming giant regarding the crazy amount of credible leaks we've seen flooding our headlines every day, but one leak in particular seems to have forced a response. Up until now, the only news on Switch 2 we've officially gotten from Nintendo themselves has been 1. Confirmation of backwards compatibility with Switch 1 games, 2. That there's something more to be revealed about the Switch 2's backwards compatibility, and 3. That they will be doing an official reveal trailer for the new system at some point before March 31st, 2025. Now, if you've been keeping up with this channel or even the leak cycle in general, you already knew all this before Nintendo announced it themselves, because our leak sources have been extremely reliable and have had excellent track records. For example, we do already know that the something more Nintendo has to reveal about Switch 2's backwards compatibility is that not only will the new system be able to play Switch 1 games, but will also enhance them by improving their performance and even their graphics. A huge part of how this will be possible is the DLSS capabilities of the Switch 2's new NVIDIA T239 chip. This same chip will even bring the Switch 2 close to PS5 levels of fidelity because of its DLSS upscaling, even though the chip itself is technically only as innately powerful as a PS4 Pro. It really is a complex breakthrough in technology that requires some in-depth explanation, but don't worry, I'll link you to my video at the end of this one where I explain all of that in great detail, and even dumb it down for anyone who isn't tech savvy. So stick around for that because it's some crazy exciting stuff. But when it comes to what finally made Nintendo break their silence in regard to this overwhelmingly active leak cycle, well, it was this video right here from the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. In the video, we see a full mock-up of the Nintendo Switch 2, complete with the proper dimensions and physical additions that we have seen in leaked manufacturing images and even descriptions by Nintendo's brand partners. I also have more details on those that I'll link you to at the end of this video, alongside that other one I mentioned earlier where I discussed the Switch 2's power. So keep that in mind in case you want to learn about that as well. Now, what we see in this video seems to be a mock-up of the Switch 2. Some have claimed it's a dummy unit, others have stated that it looks like a 3D printed model. Personally, I'm siding with the latter, but who's to say? Again, what matters most here is that this video, though, that you're seeing right in front of you, convinced Nintendo that they needed to release a statement. What did they say in the statement, you ask? Well, they said exactly what we'd expect them to, but I want you to pay careful attention to the wording used here. Their statement was a simple, regarding the images and videos, they are not official. To which I say, Nintendo, duh, we already know they're not official. Cause I want everyone to realize that simply saying they're not official is only their way of saying that what we've been seeing in photos, videos, and mock-ups just simply aren't the final versions of Nintendo Switch 2. Until the system is released, everything is subject to change, and stating that what we're seeing isn't official is technically true even if they're dummy models or pre-production builds made by Nintendo themselves. They're not official because the system has not been officially released, with everything set in stone. Retail models have not been mass manufactured yet. It's a clever runaround statement by Nintendo, but I'm not fooled, and I'm sure many of you aren't either. We already have proof that pretty much all we've been seeing is real. We saw this with the Switch 2 Joy-Con leak, for example, when someone looked up the serial number on Nintendo's official support site, and the number was accepted as a real Nintendo product that can be repaired. If you ask me, the reason Nintendo felt especially compelled to respond to this video in particular is because the model we see isn't necessarily what the Switch 2 will look like when it's finally released. Like, it just plain can't and doesn't look as nice as the official release will. At best, this is a dummy model after all. At worst, it's a 3D printed model. Neither of those will compare to the real deal when it comes out because Nintendo will put all the finishing touches on it that will make it stand out properly in all the different ways that it should. I don't even think Nintendo is necessarily mad about all the leaks that we've been seeing either, by the way. At this point, they've bided their time so much despite the heavy, reliable leaks we've got throughout 2024 and now especially 2025 already, that it seems obvious they're happy it's all just spreading buzz about the system without them needing to lift a finger themselves yet. I'd take this conjecture a step further actually, and even say that the fact that they've kept so silent during these leaks means they're confident the final product won't disappoint us by comparison to what we're hearing and seeing about the system. It's actually super reassuring how cool Nintendo is playing this entire situation, and it only makes me think that every reputable leak is either 100% real, as we've thought and have been slowly proving, or possibly even downplaying aspects of the Switch 2 that we don't even know about yet. Some of you may agree, some of you may disagree. I've seen plenty of both sides in my comment sections, but one thing is for sure. The world is watching Nintendo closely with anticipation. After all, the Nintendo Switch 1 was the most successful console of the last generation by miles. Love or hate Nintendo, they are ruling the gaming market right now, and it's not particularly close. Switch 1 is currently a solid 30 million units or so sold beyond PS4, with 146 million sales to 117 million. Current generation systems are lagging substantially, with PS5 sitting at just 65 million units sold. And don't even get me started on the mess that is Microsoft systems. I couldn't even tell you which one is the current gen and which one was the last gen because their naming convention is so confusing. But what I do know is that all of those are lagging behind even PlayStation. So all this is to say, based on how well the Switch 1 performed, Switch 2 is set up for success, and it looks to be everything we want from Nintendo right now. Simply a more powerful Switch with only a few new key features. But what are your thoughts on the Switch 2 and Nintendo's response? Comment down below and we'll all respond and discuss with you. Afterwards, here are the videos I promised. On the left is my video explaining more in depth how we all know that the leaked images and videos of Switch 2 are real, and on the right is my video deep dive into the Switch 2's power and capabilities thanks to its new processor and DLSS features. Whichever video you choose, I've been johtojonny, and I'll catch you all there.